Hi, everyone. We're going to give it a couple seconds for everyone to join the correct breakout rooms. But if you're here, hopefully you know that you're looking for residential life at MUD. We'll do introductions in about maybe 30 seconds. Alrighty, let's go ahead and let's get started. I'm going to turn it back over to our two HMC students. So, Karina, do you want to go ahead and take it away?
Yes, all right. Hey guys, my name's Karina. I am a rising sophomore here at MUD. I am going to be showing Atwood, which is the dorm that I lived in last year and will be living in the next year. I'm actually going to be showing my freshman year room as it looks now, completely unfurnished. And then Paco is going to be showing a little bit more than that. Paco, do you want to do your introduction?
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Paco. I'm a rising senior here at Harvey Mudd. I live in Sontag. I've lived here for all 4 years. These are one of the outer dorms, so it's suite style living. I'll be showing you some of the lounge today. I'll be showing you what a single looks like, the room that I've lived in the last few years. I'm also part of Res Life as well as the ASHMIC, which is our student government on campus. So I'm one of the dorm presidents as well as the dorm proctor for the summer of Sontag. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, Karina, do you want to go ahead and get started? Again, just a reminder, if you want to put any questions in the chat, I will be monitoring the chat as the two of them take you on these guided tours.
All right, and I believe, Paco, you should show off your lounge first and talk a little bit about Sontag.
Oh yeah, my bad. Hold on. Let me see if I can turn the camera on. Okay. So this is Sontag Lounge. So lounge spaces here at Sontag and all the other dorms are kind of like a shared common space where people come and hang out. These are where a lot of our events are hosted. So at Sontag, we do boba events. We also do an event called Suntag every Sunday where we make brownies and have lemonade in the lounge. So folks come down and we set up food on the ping pong table. We also used to have two working pool tables. That one doesn't work anymore because one of the legs is falling off. But in general, Sontag is known as the senior retirement dorm. So we have a very like chill sort of vibe. Lots of our events really focus on being a little bit more laid back. I make bread for them. We also have just kind of like a very like nice charcuterie spread, so it's a lot of fun. What else do we do at dorms? We also have a lot of fun dorm traditions. So lots of the dorms have scavenger hunts at the start of the school year to kind of show folks around and have people see what the general vibe of campus looks like. Additionally, what else is there? There's a variety of different vibes across the different dorms. So Atwood likes to have a snowball fight in the courtyard by taking snow from the top of Mount Baldy and driving it back down. There's also events at dorms like West, where there is, I'm gonna turn my face back on, where they do what's called, they do bonfires and they do a lot of other fun stuff there. So it really depends on your vibe, but there's tons of other cool events that happen throughout the year. There's always stuff going on any night between like Thursday and Saturday night, so you'll never run out of stuff to do on campus. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Paco. I'm going to go ahead and remove the pin. And then, Karina, do you want to go ahead and go next while Paco runs to his next destination?
Yes, for sure. So I'll give a little tour of this dorm. So right now we are in the Atwood triple. So this is normally a triple. Right now there are only two beds in here. I am not completely sure why that is. It might be a double this coming year, but if it is a triple, this side of the room is a little bit larger than this side. And so what will happen is you'll have another bed here. And then this will typically be on this side of the wall, and you'll have another desk. And so the way it looks is people will typically have like both like you'll have one closet to yourself or you'll have the armoire, and then that'll all work out. I had a really fun time. I was on this side when I was in this room, and I had a really fun time putting all my pictures on this wall. These were pictures that I actually had up at my grad party, so I just kind of like packaged them and took them with me. And then out here, this room actually has 2 balconies. So because it's split into an L, both sides of the L are going to have a balcony. If you, not that I'm recommending this, but if you were to leave your balcony unlocked, you could use it as a door when you forget your key. Not telling anyone to do that at all. And so apart from this actual like triple area, you are also in a suite. So Sontag and Atwood are both our some of our dorms that have suites, as they're both outer dorms. And so our suite is going to look like this. So all of our rooms are kind of around this block, which has the bathrooms. I left my bike there, and it's in here. So the common space is going to be all of these couches, has an excess amount of couches and also tables. But typically what we'll do with all of the couches is you're going to want the couches to be able to see a TV. People typically put the TV here, and then we do stadium seating in Atwood. So this is not already set up with stadium seating, but when the suite moves in, what they'll do is they will put a bed frame without a bed here, and then a couch on top of that, and then a couch underneath it. So you kind of have like one couch here and then one couch staggered under it, for the stadium seating effect, which lets you seat twice as many people in about the same space, and everyone can see the TV. And then I will also show what the bathrooms look like in Atwood. So we have 2 bathrooms. They both look the exact same, but you're going to have one stall, which has the stall door, and then the shower, which has this shower door, 2 sinks, and then storage underneath. And so both of the bathrooms look like that. We have 9 people in this suite. So sorry for the quick camera movements. This is going to be a double. Typically you have sophomores or juniors living in these doubles. And then you're going to have, the rest of these are going to be singles. So the singles look like this. The Atwood singles are very spacious. And again, every single room has its own balcony in Atwood. The balconies are super nice. Suite, so it's going to be a little bit larger. Our proctors are essentially RAs. They are in charge of keeping dorm life safe and happy. And they will also be in charge of any disputes with roommates if they happen. The way that you get sorted as an incoming freshman, the way that you get sorted into a dorm is that kind of feels like a BuzzFeed quiz while you're taking it. And it's just this quiz that's kind of like trying to get at your personality and at what you're interested in experiencing here at MUD. And then they'll put you into a dorm that's going to kind of enhance that. And it is students that are reading through these that know what all of the personalities of all of the dorms are into your dorm. And they're also going to be the ones that are pairing you with, they're going to be the ones that are pairing you with your roommates. They typically do a really good job at pairing you with your roommates. I absolutely loved my freshman suite, and I really enjoyed that experience of being with my freshman suite and being with the roommates that I was paired with. We can now pass it on over to Paco to show off what the Sontag suites look like.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Paco again. So this is my single. I kind of just moved in, so I have not even made my bed yet. But yeah, so Sontag is, again, the senior retirement dorm. Typically, mostly seniors end up living here, but we also have freshmen in this dorm as well. So all years are mixed year, co-ed, mixed major. So there's no like differentiating based on which dorm you live in, which is really nice. You get to really choose based on which dorm culture fits your personality the best. But in Sontag, the really great thing is single is a little bit smaller than the average single, I would say. It is more efficient to like rotate this bed this way, but this bed didn't come raised enough, so that's fine. You also get a nice view of the sunrise in the morning from the mountains. And the great thing about every Sontag suite is that there's always going to be a kitchen. So since every suite has a kitchen, you can choose to be off the meal plan if you want. Lots of folks really love being on the meal plan here at Harvey Mudd because the Hawk is really great. With that being said, I personally really love cooking. So cooking is a way I de-stress, and I really enjoy just like taking the time to chill out there. But the structure of all the Sontag suites are going to be 2 to 3 singles connected to one double, and you also get the access to the kitchen. So it's a really great vibe. It's super chill. The suite space is really great as well. So I feel like when I lived here my freshman year, it felt kind of more like moving into a house with people who are older than me. So I had my sweet parents, which is a lot of fun. I think it really helps you like create connections across years. So yeah, open to questions.
Awesome. We have a couple of minutes really quickly before we jump back into the slides and do some of the Q&A. So maybe Karina and Paco, do you want to just tell them, we have a lot of questions that have been coming in directly to me about the housing applications and just information on that part. So maybe do you want to tell us a little bit more as to what that looked like and how do you apply? How do you figure out which one of the different dorms you actually want to live in?
I think Karina
Yes.
put it perfectly by saying it was a BuzzFeed quiz.
Yeah.
I don't really remember because it's been a minute for me. I just remember, yes, air conditioning. Air conditioning is all here. Cough, cough, wink, wink, hint, hint, other climate colleges. But we also, like, it's just kind of saying what time you go to sleep. It's super chill. I didn't know where I wanted to live, so I think it's kind of fun to let the face decide. But with that being said, if you like really are excited about living in a specific dorm, go into like the Discord, which I'm not sure if someone has the link to and can share that in the chat. But going to the Discord and asking like upperclassmen can kind of like help you say like whether or not certain dorms fit your vibe the best. But Sontag's the best dorm, so that's my opinion.
And I'm actually perfect segue. I know Kevin's going to talk about this later, but the Discord link that Paco just referenced is in the chat right now if you would like to go ahead and join that. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to screen share our slides and we're going to do a very quick, if I can get this back up. There we go. So you can hear and you can learn a little bit more about the different dorm descriptions. So feel free to, if it's going to be a little difficult if you're on your phone, but if you are on a laptop, you should be able to go ahead and scan these QR codes. So you'll be able to see the dorm descriptions and then the dorm quiz to your right, which we'll be able to go ahead. And you can just put the answers, put whichever dorm that you actually come out with in the chat. So let's hear a little bit more. We're going to stick around for some additional Q&A questions. Again, don't hesitate to unmute yourself or go ahead if you have questions specifically for Karina or for Paco. Thanks.
And quickly on the storm quiz, this is not what the quiz looks like when you have actually applied to MUD and are taking the quiz as an incoming freshman. This is just a silly quiz that we made that I took, and it's very accurate. So it works pretty well, but this is not the quiz that you're going to take if you get in here and if you choose to go here.
Perfect.
No, this is binding. We'll keep a close eye to that. To talk more about singles as a freshman. So singles are hard to come by because we only have so many singles on campus. Usually those are like reserved for seniority or folks who have like health access needs. So for instance, like I don't like know what like a specific health access need would be off the top of my head. Let's say, I don't know, purely hypothetical, I probably wouldn't say this is in need of a single, but if you're like, I'm definitely allergic to peanuts, I will die if I touch anything peanuts. I need my own space so I don't like cross contaminate with other folks. That could be something that could warrant a single, but like, yeah, obviously, it would be nice to have a single right away. However, it is also fun to have a roommate to some degree. I was an only child. I can definitely understand and empathize with folks who don't really want to have roommates. Roommates are pretty cool. The number one rule of having roommates is don't be mean to them and they won't be mean to you. And so if you just like create a good environment, do the dishes too. If you are the one doing the dishes, everyone will love you. Do the dishes and make cookies, and then you'll make a million friends, regardless of where you end up. That's how I did it, at least. So, yeah.
Realize I was muted, but just gonna kind of reiterate, continue to put questions in the chat. We have a couple more minutes before this session will officially close. So if there's anything that maybe Paco Karina showed you that you have questions about, feel free to put them in the chat, but also tell us what you're getting in the dorm quiz. We want to know, what is this coming out? What are you looking at? Again, this is just for fun. We want to know and just kind of want to see, so.
W's in the chat. Dang it, no. I thought everyone was to be Sontag. Yes, I see more Sontags. Yes. Assimilate into the Sontag dorm.
If you have questions about any of the dorms and any of the dorms that aren't Atwood or Sontag, we can also answer questions about those.
Yeah, actually, we do have a couple of extra minutes. Do you guys mind telling us a little bit about the other dorms that were showcased today?
Oh, wait, hold on. I'll ask the question about the meal plan real quick. So someone said, if you like to cook, is the meal plan worth it? I think that the food on campus is really good. And also, given the schedule that we have here at Mud, you really might not have a lot of time to cook, and you might start seeing it as more of like a begrudging thing that you have to do every day. And also, the food in our dining halls is really good. So I will always vouch for that food and like having a chance to take a part of that. But if you do love to cook for yourself, we have, I believe, 4 dorms with kitchens, and a few types of rooms that have kitchens in them. The room that I'm living in Atwood next year has its own kitchen in it. It's called an efficiency. It's basically a double that has its own kitchen and its own bathroom. And so there are quite a few options. The Sontag suites have kitchens in them. There are lots of options in which you can cook for yourself. There's a lot of cooking clubs, but in general, I highly recommend at least being on the meal plan your first year so you can see if you think the food is good and worth it. But I'm a very big fan.
I will just add in for what Karina said. So there's 7 dining halls and 10 restaurant slash eateries that are part of the meal plan. So you may like to cook, but also that includes little kind of like, some of them are like grocery stores, more or less. So for example, there's like down on Pomona's campus, you can get like fresh fruit and grapes and stuff. When I was a student here, that's something that I did that I appreciated because it was a part of the meal plan. So even though I did like to cook, we were able to go ahead and get stuff like that. Also, some of the places are open really late, so if you don't want to be cooking at 2 a.m. or 1 a.m., you can kind of stop by and grab pizza or things like that. So there are different portions of the meal plan that you'll have access to, but just note that 17 places in total you have access through the meal plan.
I think you're also like paying for the convenience. Like ultimately, like it's like I do agree with Karina. Like I'm not like the biggest dining hall fan because I think I can cook better for myself on a day-to-day basis. I also have more time because I'm just like older. So haha frosh. And so I think I have more time to like actually like cook meals for myself and take care of it in that way. But I think that it's really dependent on like your wants and needs. But I really personally enjoy cooking because it's like my way of calming down throughout the day, and just like taking time for myself. It's a form of self-care for me. So I think it really depends on your own personal experience.
I will just add in, there's also a ton of clubs that also are oriented around cooking, baking, things like that. So you can also, like, depending on if it's a hobby or if it's something you want to do daily, it's up to you. There's like bread baking club, what else? Like, I know there was like a cookie club for a couple of years. I don't know if that still exists, but there are a ton of different things as well. And that's not just on Harvey Mudd's campus. It includes all the 5 colleges. So that's, again, one of the benefits of being a part of a consortium. And again, we're just going to continue typing away in the chat for any questions, but don't hesitate if anybody has anything they want to ask in person.
The bathrooms are usually very clean. We have dorm attendants, which basically go through and clean the bathrooms like every day of the week. So unless if you have like a nightmare situation, then you like will be fine. Like the worst case scenario is like someone doesn't flush the toilet, like that, like you're gross, you're over the age of 18, like figure your stuff out. At that point, talk to your roommates and be like, guys, who needs to be potty trained? Fix your stuff. But it's usually fine. Like I haven't had issues with this. Um, and like if you do, just like the easiest way you can solve any issue with roommates is just talk to them. There's no specific. Okay, so quietness is usually fine for me. I sleep really hard, so like I never have it have had issues. I know other folks who sometimes do if they live in a ladder dorm, but oftentimes folks are able to like if you don't like noise and you put that in your roommate matching form, you'll be fine. There's no specific queer dorms or suites, but oftentimes there are lots of queer folks who like to live together. So I know some of like larger spaces in case tend to be very like I knew three trans men who like all happened to just live together for like coincidence reasons. But they're all like close friends, so they kind of were like, oh, awesome, we're neighbors. So there's no like specific like queer areas, but there's like places where people like where queer folks like to live together. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Alrighty. We have about 1 more minute before we start ending and closing out this session. We're going to be heading back to the original main room in about a minute, and then we're going to go ahead and transition to some more information about Harvey Mudd. Again, we'll be here if you have any questions about res life or just housing in general, but we're going to go ahead and start transitioning back. So thank you so much for coming to learn about housing and all the different dorm options here at Harvey Mudd. Thanks.